As y'all can hear, my friend here, she has kids, so they're gonna be special guests today. If you hear them in the background, it's just the arts and the thinker. We love the kids at times, but just FYI, on this episode, got kids in the background. So, how's everybody doing today? I am here with the artist, and it's me, Terrence B. the Thinker. We're here once again, and welcome back to the Artist and the Thinker podcast, everybody. Today's subject, we're going to get into finishing up the conversation with politics, per usual, because for everybody that knows by now, it's been a huge change. Joe Biden is no longer running for another term. He is stepping down, and in his stead, Miss Kamala Harris, the vice president, is going to step in and run for president. And a lot of people, uh, it it's like a shock for everybody because it's a shock to the Republicans and Trump because Trump thought that Biden was going to stay in it, and if he felt it that way, he knew that he could sweep Biden, quote unquote. I still personally, me and Sweets agree. We still don't think that he would have had a
Mhm.
shot. But like Biden stepped down, and now Kamala is in position, and I got it. Sweets is probably gonna look at me like it, but I got a couple of issues with it. But I do know the bottom line is still the bottom line of what needs to be done. I'll put it like that. I have my issues with certain things that I feel is just like, but but the bottom line, what we're trying to get done as a people and as a country, the bottom line is the bottom line of what needs to be done. My thing is this: there's a way that she can win, and she's already winning. I mean, she's done crazy numbers. She's raised over like 90 million within 24 hours. It's way past that now. It's way beyond that now. So I have my feelings about it, certain things, but I know for sure that the bottom line is the bottom line of what needs to be done, and that's what I'll be doing. But I'll say it one. I hope this narrative of it though gets is set up your board, ladies and gentlemen. Set up your board. Learn from the errors from past elections. And the youth, I think it comes down to setting up your board, talking to the youth, because the youth have always been the common denominator in anything in this country. Revolutions, uh, civil rights, protest, all the movements, the youth has always been at the forefront. They've been the spear. And I feel that both sides have lost sight of that. And whoever gets sight of the youth and talk to them is the one that's going to win. I feel that. Number two, you got to set up your board from, like we've said in multiple podcasts before, your Congress, your senators, your mayors, your judges. All of that needs to be set up because that makes it easier for the person that's in that position. You get what I'm saying? It makes
Mhm.
it easier for people that are speaking on your behalf that are genuinely doing the work. The information's out there. Don't be lazy. Research it. And there was things about Congress that I didn't know. I didn't know they get. I told Sweets this off air. I was like, to keep it 100 with you, I didn't know that you could vote them out every 2 years. I did not know that. And then I was just like, word? And you want to know why it's strange? I was like, I'm pretty sure people know that, but why they didn't say anything about it to anybody else? Like, you do know that you can vote every 2 years to get them out of there. And I think once that narrative catches on, you'll see people changing out. Because, like, people from the silent generation should still not be in a seat in Congress. I'm sorry. Hate to love it. I don't believe it that they should. Because when you set in your ways, you just set in your ways. But let me pass it over to Sweets. Go ahead, Sweets. Hop in if you like.
I think that when it comes to a lot of the issues, people aren't aware of how important it is to focus on your basically you start in your community when it comes
Local.
to electing people. You start in your community, it starts in your town with the people who are your mayors, your people who's of those chambers. It's important for you to be voting on those people and be aware of what they're doing, because what happens is they pass it up next to the county. So you need to know who are the people who are in control of your county when you're wondering what's going on with funding and you're complaining about how bad your roads are.
Yep.
Then you have to think about who is over your state, your representatives. You need to know about, well, especially representatives, because representatives start in your counties, and then they're the ones who go to your government, your local government, and your state. I'm sorry. You need to focus on all of those different things. You definitely those senators. The senator that represents North Carolina. Think about what he's about, because his vote plays a bigger part. The representatives that go to DC play a big part when it comes to what is going on, the laws and bills and things that are being put before us, the things that are affecting our lives. That is what you need to look at. The president really does not run the country.
Yep.
He
Big
can sign
facts.
a whole bunch of executive orders and they can only last but so long. Um, Now, if Trump is in office, his game is to become a dictator. You have some delusional
King.
people who are saying that, oh, maybe it wouldn't be so bad having a president like Putin. Putin keeps certain people from not traveling out of their houses because they look a certain way. And I know I'm not talking about the color of the skin, just their lifestyle. There's a lot of crazy laws that who would want a dictatorship? That's insane. But when it comes to what's going on right now, and it's very weird. Can you close the door? Hey, can you close the door?
Like I told y'all before,
I was
got
playing the
kids in the
trumpet.
room,
No, the
so
other one's playing the trumpet. Like, what the heck? Anyway, so when it comes to um our current situation, of course, it's a very popular topic. The, excuse me, the fact that Kamala stepped up and Biden stepped down. Now, I think the thing to pay attention to, and like I said before, I still believe that Biden he was going to win. No one's going to tell me anything different. And I know people will be like, "Oh, this and that says this," and yes, Trump still has a lot of crazy loyal followers. He does. And one of the biggest things that was created to try to sway a lot of votes, because I mean, here's the reality: most people in the country are fall under the category of being neutral, liberals, and Democrat. I mean that's the round, whether it's far left, somewhere in the middle of left, or pushing to the middle. So even and when you look at election numbers, Democrats are always have the higher numbers, but it's electoral college that basically is there to help Republicans win. But when it comes to the current election, and we focus, hey, get those out of his hands so he's a breaker. When it comes to this current one, um, a lot of things that was going on, of course, is misinformation. Oh, please grab him, please. Misinformation and trying to basically divide our vote. Now, I know a lot of people is for RBJ, and you got to really look into it and see the cracks of how him and Trump are on the same side. um in a way of that was nothing that's something that's designed to help split the Democrat vote. Because if you're not voting Democrat, you are voting Republican, whether that's not what you check or not. Because every vote that doesn't go for Democrat that's a bonus for the Republicans. You have people who will go off and say, "Well, I had more money in my pocket when Biden, when Trump was in office." You got to look at it. Those 4 years that he was president, those first 2 years was him reaping the benefits of what Biden was able to get passed. Then from that, we ended up getting into the pandemic. We got into the pandemic, and one of the reasons why so many things are so much higher is really price gouging
You
and
mean
the
Obama
economy not being
got
where it
passed?
needs to be. Huh?
You mean what Obama got passed?
Yes. Well, what did I say?
You said Biden.
Oh, wrong person. Sorry. Anywho, so when it comes to that, that's how some people are like, well, it was this. And that's why Trump can try to say so boldly, well, when I was there, da da da. You read anything that was positive for benefits that were reaped from Obama. Now, when it comes to because it's something else he likes to say. It's something else he likes to say. Um and well, he likes to say so much stuff that's not true.
And let me
But
just
I'm
say one
sorry,
thing. Let me just say one thing, piggybacking off of what Sweets is talking about. Reap the benefits of what I was like I said, I've said this multiple times. Y'all can hear it in all the episodes. You either take credit for or get blamed for whatever the last president set up.
Mhm.
That's how it goes. Case in point, when Biden came in, he had to take on the brunt of setting things right of what Trump set up.
Mhm.
Case in point. So naturally, it looks like he's not doing it. It's like, you don't understand. I got to fix all of this stuff that was set up
Mhm.
after the fact.
And
You
then
know
he
what I'm
can't.
saying?
And here's the
And
thing: a
so people,
president can't.
I need people to understand that.
But see, even a president can sit here and spit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that on either party. But if your House and your Senate are not on your side, more than likely, all those things you're trying to pass are not going to happen.
You saw it with two
They're just
terms
not
with
going to
Obama.
happen. Yep, you're. It's not going to happen. So, and I think how it was the first 4 years, he didn't have the Senate. I think the second one he did. So, so and then so what I was trying to say, I'm sorry for cutting you off. One of the things I was trying to say is when it came to this current one, we'll just focus on Biden and Trump. Another thing, manipulating people to think that the reason why the economy is the way that it is because of the president. Um, Playing on people of color, especially people that look like us,
Mm-hmm.
that to make you not want to vote. Because I see a lot of people even now telling me, I don't even think I'm gonna vote. That's what they want you to do is not vote. It's like this race is far beyond, and it's more than just a woman and a man running against each other, whether she's black or Indian. And I wanted to say that video you sent me is not true. I actually saw the real video. She didn't put. If you look at it, it was a video that Terrence sent me. Sorry, I'm fighting children. Um, a video here. Take it. No, okay. Anyway, it was a video Terrence had sent me, and it was her talking about her Indian heritage. I mean, well, from India, because her mother being from India and her father being Jamaican but born in America. Um, so she's never denied being black. She actually identifies with being black more than she does Indian, but people are going to say that she didn't. And there's numerous times that are actual factual, her saying that she did, because you have a lot of people saying, well, she not black, she not for us. And then they have this misconception that when she was a lawyer, while she was practicing, that she put a whole bunch of black people in jail. It was 45 people that were actually in jail, and she actually that did go to jail under her. And I think there was some people that it might have been not falsified, but it was some other issue, but it wasn't her saying, "Oh, I'm sending all black men to prison." No. Then she had a reform program that was designed to help people after they came out. If you really do your research on what she really did versus the BS that's being told, no, that's not her. So because I see so much stuff like that.
Well, my
But
thing is
anyway,
this: what I
with
don't like, even despite like whatever she identifies as,
it don't
and
matter.
she
She could be
identifies
purple.
as black. Okay, cool. But this is the thing that makes me mad about other people. I'm like, she identifies as black. She's had the black experience. She went to Howard. She's in a black sorority, and then y'all still have the nerve to sit there and say she's not black enough.
I know
And I'm
the
like,
one
I
drop
hate that
rule, it
standard of
applies
what's
when they want
black
it
and
to
what's
apply.
not. And I'm like, okay, what's black and what's not? I was like,
Hmm.
one, you're going for a position that's not just about black people. It is about all of us in the United States, Americans.
Hmm.
If you did that and just focused on, and I'm about to be devil's advocate in a second. If you do that and just come in there like that, you'll probably get assassinated within the first couple of months.
Of what? What?
You probably get
So I
assassinated
feel
in the
that
first
way.
couple of months. If you came in there on a pro-black tip,
Probably not. I mean,
you probably get
assassination
no,
is
you
very
wouldn't get support.
strategic.
You wouldn't get support in certain things that matter, and then things of that nature. And so my
Well,
thing is
well,
this.
I hate to interrupt. So I'm sorry. The only reason I say you wouldn't get things done, Trump was president. Anything's possible. Remember that. Remember
Now I think people no, we dropped the ball. No, no. Men lie,
the
women lie,
fact that
numbers
that man
don't.
was able to
Men
become president and
listen,
some of the stuff that already happened.
listen.
I
Men
don't
lie,
put
women
nothing
lie,
to.
numbers don't. We saw those numbers with him and Hillary Clinton.
But
And
what
we
I'm
were
saying
sitting
is
there
the man
like,
was in office, right?
the math ain't mathing, B. But check it. All
It's
right,
the
let me
electoral. I'm telling you, if we could get rid of electoral college, when they wanted to get rid of it back when I was in sixth grade, they kept talking about how they wanted to get rid of it. Telling you, if they had got rid of electoral college, he wouldn't have had it. He'd just keep running to not win.
let me
But
let
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but like I was like, you have to think of the entire country when you're in a position of president. And
Hmm.
so, but devil's advocate, I was like, okay, but you have laws strictly just for Indians. You have laws strictly just for Asians. You have laws strictly just to benefit different races, but nothing. The lynch bill is still sitting up there. Lynching bill is still sitting on the waiting to be put in the law. The lynching anti-lynch bill still up there.
Sorry.
You get what I'm saying? It's still up there.
Hmm.
And
What?
that is directly based on the system that is set up. The system that is set up, and I'm like, so you say that you can't do things for black people like reparations and things of this nature, but yet you just passed all of these laws
How
to
did we get
benefit
here?
specific races.
How did we get here?
Because I was talking about like how some people say you can't just be in there and have a pro black mindset
Oh,
and just be all about black people. I was like, when have they ever been about black people?
yeah. Yes, unfortunately, we're not allowed that luxury. Um,
And that's sad. And I was like, if this is the land of the free and everybody equal and everybody gets the opportunities and everything, then why is stuff like the anti-lynch bill still sitting up there, not passed?
because America's a racist and African Americans are really the chosen people, but that's a different story for a different conversation. It's so funny now that I keep saying it, people be like, "I see what she mean," but anywho's what the whole thing because I really do want to get to Kamala, to Harris, really what's going on. So one thing that I think is wow. So see, in Trump's mind, he was like, Biden is not going to back down. He's going to continue to stay. And Biden did something that can be deemed heroic and selfless because he knew, okay, I'm not doing good. there are a lot more things going on with me. I probably cannot do another 4
And he was
years.
just getting over COVID,
And
right?
he yeah, and he stepped down, which was something that was good.
Yeah.
And bless you. And you have to add some more water on that. You got to put more water on it. Just run it over the sink. Sorry, she put a tattoo on. Sorry. Anywho, um, but he didn't. So Trump didn't anticipate this. Trump didn't even think about it. He's like, oh, he's gonna go to the bitter end. He's such a narcissist that in his mind he knew he had it. He had it. He had it. He was gonna win, and there was no coming back.
But there,
Right.
what he wasn't ready for was
So when he stepped down, right? I don't know why it's such a shocker that the person that would replace him would be Harris,
the vice.
and it's like they are going insane, crazy, 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 insane. All of them far righters to a point that they don't know what to do because I was watching and Trump himself. Trump is a big topic. Like people need to pay attention to Trump's behavior. Every time, anything with Trump always gets worse, right? It's always getting worse. But Trump is really losing it because this is, I think, one of the times that it has actually clicked in his head that I might not win this. Even if he had doubt before, he didn't show it. But him now, I need you to close that door and turn that light off and close that door. Um, if you turn that light off, he gonna come. Anywho,
Mother
all right.
duty never
So,
ends.
anywho, so if you look at what's going on, he is. When I say he's getting worse and worse, like you see now, he's so reckless. He's so reckless on what he says that I mean, he's always reckless, but you can sense the fear in some of his recklessness now because a lot of his stunts they're not working like he thought they would. Whereas he thinks they would. All he's doing now, he's not even spitting out. He don't spit. No, he never does spit policy out. All he ever does is to talk about people. Um, but when it comes to her, they don't. If you look at all these dang things, especially if you just look at Fox News, I don't know her
I don't
name. She
watch
got
it. It's
short
just
hair,
brain numbing at this point.
but let me tell you, I watched this. I will later send it to you because you're going to be like, if this ain't a hater, I don't know what a hater is. So old girl on Fox, I don't know her name, and it's probably best that I don't know her name. Um, she was so I ain't never seen somebody try to fish for stuff. She was saying, look at her hugging people.
What the hell?
Hugging people. She was upset. She was saying that that's all she wants to do is hug people. Then she complaining about her. She was talking to the people in the crowd, and she was like, everybody was sitting up and standing up, and she was looking, she was laughing. Like, all you want to do is laugh? You laughing? No, what's funny? I'm like,
God dang.
you mad at her for hugging past presidents and their wives. You're upset at the fact that she was talking to the people in the crowd and smiling. Then you were mad at the fact that she opened up a notebook. Look at her opening up that notebook. What was she supposed to do? Like it
Look
was
at this
like,
nigga over here reading.
I mean, fishing for stuff. It didn't even make sense. It's like, so you're just mad at her for breathing. Like, just go ahead and just be honest. You hate her. Like, I mean,
I hate the
at
way
this
that you
point, I
walk, the
just
way you
say
talk.
that
I hate the
quiet
way
part
you
out
dress.
loud. That listen, I hate you. Say it like
Kendrick,
Kendrick said, I hate the way you walk, I hate the way you talk. Just
the
go
way you
ahead.
dress. I hate
And
the
then
way
when it
you.
comes to Trump himself, I I say it now, I say it again. There's two words that
That
I
he
feel
close
like
to say
is
it.
gonna come out of Trump because he seemed like if he get in a debate with her and she started getting him, you remember when Biden told Trump to shut up? Oh, it's gonna be something different. I'm trying to because I saw something today. Of course, I was driving, so I
With
put
the
a
hard
live on that
R.
they were it was a rally that he was at. He was at, I don't know, I want to say he was in Georgia. Not sure where, but I'm assuming Georgia because he was like, "We're gonna win this state," and rah, 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 whatever. But he was at a college, and he was saying the college was not letting all those good people outside in, and how could they not? And we had it set up for the cameras to see it, take pictures of all of them being in support. This school is horrible. I would never send anyone to. I said
You gonna talk
the
trash
place
about the school
hosting
that you
your
came to?
rally, the place hosting your rally,
You gonna
you
talk about their
are
school?
talking about them at the right. I mean, as it's happening, not behind closed doors, right then and there.
I know. This
Then when it comes to um like the whole report, the black reporters when they were reporting him, when they were going back and forth. Truth is, he was late, trying to turn it around on them.
yep.
And like he didn't answer none of the questions.
He did
He had so
ABC
many
too.
opportunities. When they asked him about Lance, he could have said that Lance was a great character. He could have boosted him up right there. There's so many ways that Trump could have did this to really nail it. But no, he fussed the whole time.
And this is why I
That's
know
all
he's
he
not
did.
gonna win in a debate against Kamala. Cause like you said, them two words, I was like, and if he say that, oh, you done.
I ain't
You're,
gotta
you're
say the two
done.
words out
But
loud. I ain't gotta say the two words out loud, but
in the
what I'm
same
saying
breath, we
is just
thought he
look.
was done when he said, grab you by the meow. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, he's done. Like, you could
I
grab him by. I was like, y'all really want to vote
it
for a
will
dude? And
never.
that
My
shocked me.
thing
I was
is,
like, anything of this severity up to that point and like presidencies, if anything of that nature ever came out, there was no win. You done. You're done. And so I was like, oh, he done. Nope.
so another thing is people don't realize we have to fight against Project 2025 as hard as we can because you have a lot of Republicans that have power that want that to happen no matter if it's Trump in office, if they can get a Republican that can back it. Now, I don't care. I honestly, and I say this wholeheartedly, my whole entire chest. I do not care who is running against Trump. If they are a Democrat, I don't care. I'm going to vote for them because I refuse to allow willingly take part in the lot because we are in a state that has electoral colleges, so we do count. Um, to allow a dictatorship over democracy. And that's how people need to look at it. I don't care if you don't disagree with this with her. Do you want your freedom stripped?
Let me ask a
Some of these
question
names
to
and some of the people, and the thing is, the people who are screaming the loudest are the main people who are going to be affected. One thing, and I always say it, what J. Cole said, how Trump was able to win was he was able to manipulate poor white people to think that they were going to lose power. And that's why you have all of them saying, "Oh, they are literally fighting against their own best interests. Their own best interests. America is made up of a lot of people, but there are more white people than there's anybody in this country.
I got something to
They
say.
benefit the most off of all of that public assistance that is trying to be erased. You are going to be affected.
I got
The
something to
same when
say.
they be talking about, oh, I need those people to get up and work. You're going to be the one that's going to be affected.
I
I mean, let's put it like this: I'm a teacher, I saw something, it was favorites. One of my favorite students' parents said something, and basically they were supporting Trump. And I was just like, do you know, as much as you want me to teach some of your other children that are coming up, I won't have a job if Project 2025 comes to existence because education is going to be gone. It won't exist. There won't be any school for me to go teach your children.
let me just say this. To all those naysayers against like I'm not voting for her, what is your alternative? What is your other alternative? Because you
So
gotta have one.
you gonna give it to Trump?
Now, I was like, what is your other alternative? So, like you said, you either want democracy or you either want to be ruled by a dictator king,
Hmm.
and that's pretty much the bottom line your only
You
two
want to
options.
give it
And
to, and this is
so
another thing people are talking about. I'm sorry, when people talk about prices of stuff, let 2025 project happen. But guess what? That gives all the power to all these corporations that they can charge you 10, 15, $20 for a jug of milk, and you complain now about the price. Oh, you really gonna complain? Then you know the sad part is, if that was to happen, you have no more power because now you're under a dictatorship. Or no, you're not going to be able to fight against it.
and
So people need to really.
let me ask you something else. So if you're not gonna like y'all listen to all these things that Sweets is saying. So if you're not gonna if you say, well, I'm not gonna vote, I was like, okay, so you're no benefit to anybody if you don't vote. And so I was like, so you're just gonna blatantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's one thing if you saying, well, I'm gonna get
Get
my
out of
money
there.
up, and as a community, we're gonna put our money behind this person. That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing to just simply say, well, I'm just not gonna vote. Cause then that leaves it up to the electoral college. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
523 people. I'm not sure what it's 520 something people. So instead of millions of votes mattering, it's going to be down to 520 something people that will make the choice for you. So either way, the choice is going to be made. And you not voting, well, that just makes you seem like, hey, I didn't do anything in any way, form, or fashion to change whatsoever. I was like, you can't talk about what's coming up next.
Un momento. Un momento.
And this is just what I'm saying to y'all people. You can't talk about what's coming next. If you don't participate in voting, if you
Get
saying
out
that,
of
well,
there.
I'm not gonna vote for her, I'm not gonna vote at all, then you don't have a right to
That's
complain
it.
about what happens next.
Save the rest of it.
You don't have a right to complain about anything of that nature. You don't have a right to complain about what happens next. What I was saying to him, Sweets, that I was like, if you're not gonna vote, you're not gonna take advantage of your right. You're just gonna sit home and do nothing. You don't get a say or get a opportunity to complain about what happens next
Mm-mm.
because you did nothing.
Um.
And so what it comes down is
Mhm.
like, okay, what is your alternative? Like it's one thing to like I said, don't get this twisted. As a community, you could all put $5 together, children and all. That adds up to millions if you have some people that's down with it. And put that money behind somebody because yes, your vote does count, but it counts up to a point. But what they respect is power and money. You see how they run. Communities can put money behind the people that they want.
That's true.
You can. If me and you are in the same community, right? And we get a collective of people in the community together and we
Mm-hmm.
say we all putting in $5 to $10. A whole community. That's millions of dollars that you can put behind somebody. Now you putting money on the
Mm-hmm.
line. So now they be like, hold up, we putting money behind you. We better get what we asked for.
Oh, and see that, and see that's something right there. So numbers can lie, right?
Right?
And when I say numbers, because if you believe every one of these polls, it will have you believe in anything, right? But the
Right?
fact of all the money that poured in, if someone, it's one thing for me to say, I'm going to vote for Harris for president, but it's something different if I'm putting money behind it.
Yep, it
You know
is.
for sure I'm gonna take my butt in there. I'm gonna vote because I'm not gonna be sitting here wasting my money on it. So
Exactly.
the fact that you had over 100,000 white women on a Zoom call for Harris is saying a lot. The fact that there were 200 white men on a call for Harris speaks numbers. The fact that there were 40 42, I think, black women on a call, or 88, I can't remember. Anyway, on a call for her. And then so the black men, they were somewhere in the numbers. Then you had the Asians. You had the Hispanics. You had you even had the community, because that's a lot of letters for me to name, and I don't want to mess it up. You had their call. You had the Marines.
Yep.
You had the service people. You had so many people coming together to sit and discuss. I see so many different panels, discussions where people are talking, and you got the ones that they be so far right it don't make no sense. Um and you have people who are really speaking how they feel in a good way about it. And Trump is seeing this, his party is seeing this, and then you got Vance, who, oh my lord, him and the cat lady that call it. I mean, it's like I get so my mind has so many different things right now that I could say about this whole entire topic. About how the respect for women is just so out the door. And for and then I got one even better for you. I got one even better for you. So when they were talking about a lot of people who could possibly be VPs for Harris, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had our dear old Cooper in the mix for it because of what he has did in North Carolina. If people don't know, he is our governor. We have a Democrat governor and we have a Republican senator. Um, and it's been that way for years, but it has worked for North Carolina. Most of the major cities in North Carolina are Democratic. If you ever look at it from county to county, the major cities, those counties are usually always blue, but the rural areas, the ones they like to target are the ones who are in red. If you ever look at North Carolina's stats after elections, but anywho, um, getting back on Roy Cooper. So Roy Cooper took his name out of it because he does not. Now, when I say this, I want you to hear how I'm saying it. He does not leave North Carolina. He cannot leave North Carolina. No, I am not saying he cannot take the position because that frees it up. He does not leave North Carolina. I mean, he doesn't vacation out of, like, right now. He is in Raleigh
He all
because
about
if
North
he
Carolina.
leaves, no, if he leaves the state, like say tomorrow, someone's trying to get him to go to Tennessee. That crazy general, I forgot what his position is, the one who wants to basically take over. Him getting in power, he wants to pass things like he feels that all Democrats should die and that women should not be allowed to vote. So because he's such a radical, Roy Cooper has chose to not leave our state, as in he does not leave. So he cannot afford to even attempt to leave as as a VP because of the aftermath
So
of
FYI,
what that
replace
would
that
cause.
senator.
He's not even a senator. He's an attorney general. Whoever
Well, replace,
he is
get him up out of
exactly,
there, wherever.
and he's a black guy. And he likes to play church. And when I say playing church, is a lot of Republicans, what they do is they like to stop. They like to bring, okay, you about to get down. They like to bring up God and church in their discussions to get all of the Christians, whether it's the evangelicals, the Baptists, the Catholics, whatever. They like to basically throw that to try to make it sound like they're for their beliefs when they're not. So no, anybody claiming that they over here serving God, y'all need to go. Go.
The artist and the
Move.
thinker, we love the kids. Just FYI, the artist and the thinker, we
You
love the
need to go too.
kids.
You need to go. You need to go.
You gotta understand, we love the
Oh.
kids. Yo, Angela,
Aiden.
Debo Lottie
Anywho. Um
got more head than he
so
got body.
and I apologize. Yeah, go get her. Go get Aiden. Go get Aiden.
Hey, The artist and the thinker, we love the kids.
You set them up to go that way. They need to go. You got to go. Grab them. They got to go.
She tried
Sorry,
so hard.
I did.
You don't mess with your kids.
Grab them.
That's a big kid.
Just take them. Just take them.
Mama. Yeah, baby, don't never buy. Well, as you see, he's a mama's boy.
No.
Boy,
No, no, he wanted to be seen.
the center of attention.
Yes. Um, and then
But
she
back to the
did too.
lecture at
That's why as
hand.
soon as she saw him sitting there, she saw him sitting here. Then she came to see it, and just yeah,
It's getting
they
too
could.
much, darling. It's too much.
I know my house too big for you to be in here.
Huh?
Go. The house is too big for y'all to be in here. Just you guys got whole rooms. Go do your thing. Um, but and I'm sorry because I do feel like I'm all over the place. Because we did have a discussion of this before, and I know I was very in detail about a lot of things. But it's crazy, now that I think about it, Terrence, when we talked about it before and our audio messed up, a lot of things hadn't even occurred to where we are now.
True that. True that.
Um, and I mean, just like I said, there's so many different things. I feel like people, if anything, read the stuff. Don't even trust what we say. And that's people's problems. Is you hear something, you play telephone, you're playing
And you,
telephone with your lives, and you don't realize it. And when I say you're playing telephone with your life, is when you hear someone, I don't care if they just because they look like you or because they are quote unquote businessman who had failed businesses left and right, that doesn't mean anything. I can have a lemonade stand and be a business person. And that does that mean that I don't know how to run the country? If I have a lemonade stand outside selling lemonade for 50 cents.
no.
So that's a business though. So when people say businessman, I'm like, no, that
I
means
let me.
nothing. But anywho, what I was trying to say about do your research. Research these people. Research something that you hear them saying to see if it's true.
It is
When you're
public
listening to Trump
information.
talk about numbers, look at the numbers. Take time to learn how the economy works, how inflation is, what is real inflation versus price
Price
gouging.
gouging.
You need to look into that. You need to understand um politics. And when I say understanding politics, understanding who has power. Because here's one thing, and you can call this, playing devil's advocate. When ooh, I'm all over the place. Harris saying that she's gonna return, she's gonna overturn the Wade, was it Roy versus
Roe
Wade? Lord,
versus
I can't
Wade.
even tell. Roe versus Wade. Lord, this is what happens with kids.
Roe v.
Anyway,
Wade.
mom brain. So, um, with that, right? And I'm like, if it's so easy for it, because even Biden said, "Oh, I'm gonna." The only way you're gonna be able to do that is if you have the Senate in your hands. But that does not mean they're going to be able to get it done. Because if they don't have that power, they can't, whether you elect them or not. So the same even applies and let's talk about black. Let me get started on black jobs. But anywho, all of this stuff you need to do your research. I say everybody there. You don't have to read all 900 pages. You can read the little snippets that's all over online of just the top 10 things that Project 2025 says. And if Trump trying to say that, it's really his agenda is from 42 or 47, whatever the thing he has on his website. It ain't nothing but a slim version of Project 2025.
You mean Agenda
But a lot of
47?
people haven't, huh?
Agenda 47?
Yeah, 47. Yeah. That is not it's if you it's similar.
It's
It's
pretty much the
similar.
same thing if you read
It
it and
is. The
everything. I was
whole
like, so
thing
this is
is
just a
the
slim
Heritage
down dumb
Foundation is
version
made up.
for you.
The Yeah. So the Heritage Foundation, the one who came up with this thing, they were people who was up under him. He was there with them when they were making it, but he wants to sit here and say that he's not a part of it because now it's being put front and center and people are seeing it. I mean, but now if it ain't, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do and put it right in front of your face. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's right
It's
there.
a public document, so it's public
Yeah,
records.
and it's
Y'all
like,
can all look this
please,
stuff up. But this is the problem with
please,
people though. People
hmm,
don't like they
won't
like
read.
to go on TikTok and they like to look at people's point of views and take that as law versus taking the time to do the little research about what's going on. And I don't mean just on like social medias, but genuinely looking this stuff up in public records and seeing what it's actually about and just
Mm-hmm.
taking it by hearsay.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And you're basing the majority of your stuff about Kamala and about everything else just off of hearsay. Like you said, playing the telephone game, and by the time it get to you, it's done changed up 6, 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take it up on ourselves to get out of this social media 50-second feeds and start
And
looking up
read,
stuff and read and research. Think. It's
read,
not
read,
illegal
read.
yet. I'm going to always say that. Think. It's
You
not
know,
illegal yet.
it's coming. Listen, I mean, I try. I mean, I have no problem. You know, I'm always Team Jesus. You know, one thing I always said, they say you need to know the word because eventually it'll take it away from you. So you might not have that book. So by
Yep.
saying that, it's like, you know, what was that movie
Book of Eli.
with huh?
The Book of Eli.
No, the movie with Michael B. Jordan. Um, it was Michael B. Jordan, and they were burning the books. They burned books. They were like firefighters, but they burnt books. Like it was illegal to have books.
Oh, illegal to read. Equilibrium.
No, you never seen this movie?
I
Michael
think
B.
I
Jordan
have. I
in
just
it,
can't remember the
and they burned books. Yeah, they burned the books, and
because
he
all
finally like realized that hey, you might want to be reading them books you burned. But what I'm saying is there might become a time where that becomes realistic to be able to destroy that. I mean, heck, we come from a lineage where people that look like you and I were not allowed to read.
yep at all.
So I mean, don't let it don't lose your freedom by not knowing. But in this the crazy part is, you know, we might be saying go do your research, read. You got people who are out here are openly willing to accept everything this man is saying. I mean, worshiping, worshiping this man. That's what is blowing my mind. They are treating him like he is
What
God.
what I also notice is that the more you watch
Hmm.
supporters, certain supporters, and ask them questions, the dumber they sound. They just agree. They don't even
Just
have any
agree.
backbone to think. And I'm like, come on, people, think. It's not illegal yet.
I mean, and they will argue it down.
And I'm like, you was like, I don't. And then you talk about Obama that hasn't been in office for like what, 8 years or some
Hmm.
change, some more than that. And I'm like, so how did Obama get in this? Like, first off, it's like, it's that
I
dang
know, right?
Obama, freaking
I
Joe
mean,
Biden, and and that dang
they
Obama.
gotta blame somebody. Look, Trump been working for a whole week and a half trying to figure out his what was going to be his thing to call. What was he going to call Harris? Because he didn't even know he didn't know which kind of road to go on it. And I
He
seen
only
that
got
last
2 words
one.
left.
He said, crazy. How was he saying it?
Crazy Kamala.
Kamala. Come on, crazy. I gotta get crazy. And the degenerates and the Alzheimer's or dementia that's sweeping
The
was sweeping the
country.
office now. He was saying basically he was trying to talk about Biden. He was like Biden ain't got nothing to do with this now player.
Hold up, Biden ain't in the
Like
conversation no more.
and for him to be for him to be I mean, calling her crazy, saying she's the most uneducated person. And I'm just like, man, do you look in the
Yeah, do
mirror?
you listen to half the
Like,
stuff you
you
say?
have been given a golden spoon all your life to get you where you are at
You
right
got
now.
$1 million loan from your daddy. Do you know how much I wish I could have asked my dad for $1 million just on the fly?
Mhm.
Anybody? I mean, talking about you. If your daddy or your mama had $1 million that they could just give you to be like, go start your business. Don't you know
Look,
I was like, that's a blessing.
that he could either fail with or succeed with. And like I said, he has had more failed businesses than he has had successful businesses.
Successful ones.
Every the messed up thing is every thing that he does, he's really doing it to pay off his debts and to make money. When he is caught, when he does these, he gets all you people to gets people to donate money. He is pocketing it. One thing I can say Trump does know. There's
What?
one thing that Trump knows well is he knows how to use taxes. He understands tax breaks.
Yeah,
Or
you
either
do.
whoever his
I
financial person is understands tax breaks. So that's how we can see how much he owed in taxes and see that some of the most regular smuggler, middle class people had to pay more in taxes than he had to. He knows that if he takes his ex-wife and bury her
on a
on his
golf
golf
course.
course, he is getting some tax exempts. Like he knows so many ways of how. So even when people talk about some paperwork that might existed that can't evidence can't be found, might be in that coffin type thing, he has to go through a lot of things to get that coffin even open. But anyway, I
But check this
digress.
out. This is also the thing with his taxes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
The information's out there about that too. The reason why we don't look in, the common folk don't look into it because we don't have the resources to take advantage of it. That's why a lot of people don't look into it. And also another thing, let's not forget about this fact here. This man was found guilty of 46 counts and is still able to run for president, but yet a black man in this country get arrested, they can't vote at all. They become a felon, can't vote
Hold on
at
one
all.
second. Hold on one second.
This man's been found guilty of 40 plus counts, all counts, and is still able to run for president. It's like, man, you can run a country from jail.
But
Ain't
but
that
but
a bitch?
but
Oh, the kids was in the room.
Marcus down the street can't even vote.
Yeah, people down the
um
street can't even vote. And I'm sitting here like, come on, son. Like, the math ain't mathing, B. I was like, this dude's guilty of 40 plus counts.
mhm.
And I was like, he was found guilty. Everybody saw it. It was like, but he can still run for president. I'm like, how, Sway?
Like that's
That
what I
means they
said.
found you
But you want to hear
guilty.
something crazy?
What's up?
Listen, hear me out on this now. So I am about to get not conspiracy theorist, but I'm about to get a little religious for a second.
Okay.
You can come back later and tell me if I was right or wrong or whatever. Hey, leave that alone. Or whatever. So my mother watches this prophet, and she said a lot of things about how this thing was gonna play out. And just
Been
want to
accurate
say
thus far?
it's accurate. And when she talks about, how he got that, how he was able to get all this stuff going on in the Supreme Court, right? And get that stuff passed for him, that he's not going to reap any of the benefits. Because making it where the president can do this and the president can do that, the next president who won't be him will be the one who benefits off of it. Let's put it like that. Him making it where they're exempt from things. Like, do you know because of what what the Supreme Court has did? You know, Biden could request to have Trump killed right now. He could kill him right now and he'd be fine. He could be fine.
Yep.
That's how
Hey, yo,
crazy it
kill that
sounds.
mom. Hey, yo, kill that dude.
Yeah, no, let's not say that. But
Nah, because he can sit there and be like, what? You can't do nothing? What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Give him that Bush look. Yeah, I did it. And what you gonna do about it? Nothing.
yeah. Um
And I'm like, dang, dude, you ain't even gonna reap the benefits of that. Like, if it go Miss Kamala's way, you can get nada.
yeah, I think the biggest thing is
We love the
stop.
kids. Just FYI, guys. We love the kids.
Anywho,
You see how she giving the mama eyes like,
I think that the best thing that anyone can do right now. Stop. The best thing that you can do is read, do your research. And if you are a person who believes in democracy, there's only one way to go. There's only one way. There's no alternatives. There's no, well, let me see
only
what
one
other
bottom
candidates
line.
have to offer. We ain't got time for that. And anybody that votes independent, you need to understand that they are not counted in every state. So it's like, if you know that the numbers are not in favor of you, do not mess up your. Do not
What
let
I,
it be a
what,
win
what I
for him.
believe is this: nobody's gonna really take independent party serious until they start noticing that they start getting the same momentum of support as Democrat and Republicans. Because what I will say is this: the two things that have, the Democrats and Republicans have over the independent party is this: they have the money and they have the support.
Mm-hmm.
They have the money and the support. Once the independent party, I don't believe it'll be taken serious this time around. It may have a shot next time, but it's like they got to take heed and start getting people to support financially behind them, and also get that support with like the amount of people that claim to be independent. But you also got to put some money behind that, because this is a I was like, I know you want people to start thinking outside of this party kind of mentality, but in order to have that,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be in a position to compete with the other parties.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're just the independent party because you're a better alternative, okay, but do you have the support and do you have the money? Because contrary to your belief, just because you're an independent party, if you don't have the power to compete against power, nobody's gonna care.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
And if people don't know, money wins elections. You gotta have it. So
You
when you
gotta
got
have
people
it,
who be
and that's
dropping
the
out, they
that's the
dropping
bottom
out because their
line.
money done ran low.
That's the bottom line, and that's what I meant by people when I say your votes matter to an extent, but until you put some
Well,
money behind
I
those
mean,
votes,
well, one thing. Let's be honest. I mean,
it's not gonna matter.
we don't live in a state that does not have electoral college votes, but there are a lot of states who don't. So it's crazy to know that and be like, my vote, your vote, honestly does not count. You know, it might look cute on paper when it shows that, okay, too many people voted for this person or that person, but have the it doesn't have the power to do anything. Um, I think people also do need to take into consideration that the person who is running for president is not going to be able to go in the next day and change everything. That's just not happening, not realistically. Now, and even when you think about Project 2024, I mean 5 and all this craziness, that do you imagine the civil war that either or the civil war that would break out? But the civil war breaking out for that happening is a total different civil war that would happen for democracy.
I agree.
Because I mean, let's be realistic. If so, when the elections happen on the 5th of November, and they say Harris, best believe Biden is going to have the National Guard on hardcore standby. And when I say hard, that hurt. Hardcore standby, because they need to make it where Trump is not allowed to bring himself to DC, because he don't need to be sitting there trying to get no rallies and get nobody to
No
go march
repeat of
in.
January
No,
6th.
nothing.
No.
Nothing. I mean, they need to shut down every single thing that he is trying to get organized, because he want people to act a fool. He want people to act crazy for
And he
him
saw
and
how
make a
easy
whole
it
thing.
was with January 6th.
I mean, well, and the thing, and they told him, but he was, I mean, so persistent. And it's like people who are hard, because I know there are a lot of people that they are, this got to stop. Sorry, this right here got to go. Come on, come on, no, go. Um, yeah, I'm gonna call. You want me to call her to come get you? You want her to go get you? No, you want to leave? You can go. Go back. Night night. And be
And what
right.
night night?
Anyway, when it comes, it's getting that time to stop. It's time to go to sleep. Um, I lost what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You were
I
talking
apologize.
about when they say Kamala Harris,
That it's going to be basically, make a long story short, is like they can't allow him to try to spark a. Oh, I was talking about older.
National
I know.
Guard on standby.
No, God knows. I was talking about this. Aiden, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go.
We love the kids, but they get on our nerves
Huh?
sometimes. I was like, we love the
Um.
kids.
Yeah, go find out what she doing. Go see what she doing. Okay. Anywho,
This boy,
I was
yeah.
trying to say so long ago. Um, when it comes to, see, I done forgot it again. We
You
don't.
said they need to have the National Guard on standby because we don't need a
No,
repeat
after
of
that,
January
I'm
6th.
done with that
And
part.
then they
That's that wasn't that part. I wasn't. Oh, now it's okay. So there are some people who they are Republicans because their mother was Republican, the dad was Republican, and their grandma, the grand.
and
That's the
so
only
on and
reason why.
so forth.
And they think, well, that's the party I'm supposed to go with, because there's a lot of us that we're Democrats because our parents are Democrats. But even with that, it's like you guys have watched. He was willing to let his own VP get killed, and they did not
Big
turn
facts.
over the election. And for him not to back him again is showing you. Come on now, all you need to know when it comes to him and that one rally when he said, "Listen here, Christians, y'all vote for me this one time. You ain't got to vote no more."
Yeah,
What do you mean, sir?
I was like, Jesus Christ. And this is what I want to
That
tell
right
y'all
there
something
is
about Trump.
insane.
Let me get this one thing off, Sweets. This is what I want to tell
Mhm.
y'all something about Trump. Trump, from what we've seen in his past 4 years, Trump is a man of his word. When he say he gonna do
Mhm.
something, best believe he's going to
Well, I
do
ain't.
it or attempt to do it.
When it comes to the foolishness, I mean,
Now,
anything else.
that's what I'm talking about. When he says that he's gonna do something or have something started, best believe he is gonna follow through with it. This is not somebody that you joke with or play with. Let's get this through your heads, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a person that you play with. This is a person you get off the board completely. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about make sure he don't have a way in. Think, ladies and gentlemen, it's not illegal. It's not. It's not at all. Think. Please use this brain. Do not get caught up in this 50-second to a minute social media that y'all be on. Please do some research. Please educate yourself. And please, it is your right to vote. And if you don't vote and don't put anything forward, you don't get a say in what comes next. You don't get a right to complain or say anything because you had a chance to do something. And you blew it away because of your selfish way of thinking and not looking at the bigger picture. So, will she have some showing and proving to do? Absolutely. I believe she'll do it. We shall see. But this is the time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it is. I think with that, I think that's a good stopping point with this discussion. And then I'm about to lose it over here.
Okay. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in to The Artist and the Thinker. And we will see you on the next episode. Peace.